everybody, Bruno, ACM carport mechanic, American carport mechanic. I gotta get used to that. Anyway, I'm firing the old girl up here, the old rat ride with the 318 Chrysler motor, and boy, I'll tell you what, listen to this thing. It sounds really good, man, I'll tell you. Man, that sounds really good. But you know, not too long ago, this thing was stalling out. I ended up rebuilding the carburetor and going through it, cleaning it out, and then one of the jets had some mess in it, you know, some trash or some of the fuel we get. You know, you always want to change the filters, which I always change the filters on everything. It just, stuff happens, you know, but it was stalling, and I think that's the premise of my video. I thought about that, you know, and the old girl is pretty good, man. I'll tell you what, that's a 318 motor. That's a 1982 motor, and I think, oh boy, I got the car from, I bought it was a Chrysler New Yorker, and I used that for a donor car to build this thing, and it's all New Yorker running gear, big old car, believe it or not, in this thing. But that engine, he told me he went through it and freshened it up and put rings and gaskets and all that, and God, I'm going to say it was 30 years ago when he did that. And it's been a while, you know, time goes by, you know, I just, you know, and I'm not too sure about that, the timing, but it's been a while, and that engine still purrs, and it was stalling out, like I said earlier, and there you go, you know, had to get into it and start working on it and doing things. Now, talking about stalling out, I'm stalled out on this. Now, I think the last video I did, I had the other truck parked in here, and I didn't even load the wood. And this has taken me, I don't know, in the last video, but I did. But I'm slow at it, you know. I try not to stall out. I'm messing with that, and I'm one to use wood and, you know, and stretch a dollar and spread, you know, materials, and it's safe. Trust me, it's not going anywhere. Now the wood you see on the siding, the black, that is creosote wood from a 40-acre paddock from a horse farm. And the paddock was called, where the barn was, that part of the farm was Quail Roost. So I don't know if I want to call this the Quail Roost barn or the car barn. And I kind of like calling it the car barn. That's what it's going to be, I think, the car barn. And you know, in a lot of my other videos, you're going to say, well, gee, Brian, I thought you didn't want to shop. I thought you wanted to be out in the open. And, you know, I tell you, it's just, I don't know. I'm getting to the point, I'm getting tired of, like I said in my last video, wrapping everything up with tarps when it rains. And so that's what it is. It's for the equipment, the tools. And what I'm going to do, if you see further on where the Chevy Impala is, I don't know if you can see that, but where the truck is up on the jack stands, I'm going to put a carport there. So don't worry. I am still going to be the carport mechanic. See there where the Chevy Impala is in that truck. I'm going to get another one of these metal buildings, pay somebody to put one up. And then that way I can tear stuff down and whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to do it anytime soon. I got my gantry crane. Did I say that right? It looks like it's leaning a little bit. Wood is strange. Wood shifts and everything. I'm going to have to sure that up for sure. For sure, I'm going to sure that up. Especially if I go pulling a cab off an old truck I got out back. I don't want that thing coming down on me. And that's you know, I don't know. I'll probably put it back here. I'll put it back here. I was thinking about it, but that, you know, that's going to be another day, maybe next year. How's that? I don't move too swifty when I'm at this age now. I'm not falling apart. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it takes me time, and like the old car, you know, I stall out, you know, and I have to just take it slow. You know, I don't want to stall out. And when I do stall out, that's okay too. And I don't know. There's a lot of, between that old Chrysler motor, that 318, it stalled out because it had a carburetor problem. And I had to get in there and diagnose and figure out what it was. And I took the carburetor apart and cleaned it. Well, with me, when I stall out, you know, I have to take it easy. I got to make sure I eat well. Make sure I'm not depressed or get angry watching news, or just don't think I I think the other day I was thinking, you know what? At the end of my life, I was making money, man. I'm making more money than I ever did, especially as a young man. And this is the kind of stuff that goes through my head. I'm thinking, geez, if only I could have made this money, knowing what I know. This is about, let's say 3 or 4 years ago, this thought came into my head. I said, boy, if I could only just make the money like I am now, back 30, 40 years ago, I'd probably be a multi-millionaire. You know, I thought about that. It was been a few days ago, and I started getting all bummed out about it. And I'm thinking, you know what? And that's what got me thinking about the old 318. I stalled out. You know, I was starting to get all bummed out about that. And, you know, because back then, about 3, 4 years ago, you know, I knew I was going to need to retire because my health ain't the best. You know, I don't get around much. I don't put up with people that much anymore. You know, I'm constantly going to the bathroom. No employer wants that. You know, they want somebody sharp and on the ball. And I thought about it. You know, I'm thinking, boy, you know, it's just like I'm stalling out. My body's giving out. You know, or just time, old mother time is just creeping up to me. And you know, don't let that happen. It happens to me, and I got to remember, you know, I got to work with the pace I'm in now. You know, I'm not 20 years old, and I'm not 30 years old. You know, a lot of times I start getting bummed out about that, thinking, man, I know a lot of videos I've made. I've talked about struggles about, you know, making investments, and I think a few videos back I was talking about putting a bunch of rental. Like rental spots for people to park their cars and their campers and semis and whatever. And the wife said no. She don't want to look at that. She don't want people coming on the property. And she said, we don't need the money. You know, what do you know, and I'm always an opportunist. You know, I always want to think about making a buck and all that. And that's really hard. But, you know, I started getting all bummed out about that and going, you know, I look into about getting into some other projects and make a few bucks. And I'm go, I really don't want to. And I get bummed out about it, but then I got to start writing, you know, I got to start thinking a gratitude list on what I've got, you know, and that's important to be thankful. And that gets me out of the funk. You know, I start getting grateful for what I got instead of what I could have got. You know, so a lot of people don't make it to my age. I've known a lot of friends. I think I bet you half of my school friends that I know, probably over half of the guys I went to school with are no longer around, you know, and there's some that did, and the guys I know that take care of themselves, they worked out and exercise and all that, and there's a few of them. Those guys are still ticking, doing good, and but there's a lot. I'm going to say probably 70 to 80% of the guys that I knew are no longer with us, you know, and no longer walking this earth. And so, you know, I gotta be grateful, you know, that I got what I got today. I got to live this long, you know, and that's another thing too. And when I start getting grateful about it, and I go to church and I tithe and all that, you know, I just start feeling good about myself. And I don't know. I guess it's basically like tweaking the old carburetor on that rat ride back there with that 318, you know. I was stumbling, so I have to, I'm stalling out, so I have to readjust my carburetor, you know, and I have to, this carburetor of the brain here. You know, go try right, and, you know, eat right. And I've been exercising and dieting, where I'm on a really strict diet now, because I was getting to the point with this cold weather, I was eating bad tater chips all the time, every night eating tater chips. And I don't know, it's just not, I wasn't eating a lot of carbs. I'm kind of like on a carbohydrate, you know, no carbs diet, you know, trying to kill my carbs, more fruits, vegetables, excuse me, meats. And my blood is okay, so don't start going, oh, watch your, you know, all that, your, you know, clog your arteries. Well, I get blood work when I go see my doctor, and so far my blood work is good. So, you know, till the day he says, well, quit eating red meat or whatever, you know, then I'll cut. But right now I got the green light, and I'm very thankful for that. So, you know, that's just it. You know, I hope I can help somebody if you watch this video. You know, just don't stall out like the old engine. If you do stall out, you know, turn it around. You know, you can always turn your day around and start thinking positive. Positive thinking does work. I have a lot of people go, oh, bullshit. You know, no. Positive thinking helps. I don't care what anybody says. When you're grateful your day seems to be a lot better. Whatever situation you're into, it just seems to help. I don't know. I can't explain it, but you know what? I hope I was able to help somebody out there. It sure helped me talking about it. And I really appreciate you guys and girls out there watching my videos. Hey, please give me a thumbs up and a like. Show the YouTube algorithm that I count. Again, that AI algorithm. And I guess I'm kind of getting proud of YouTube. A couple of things I'll mention maybe in another video. I don't want to talk about it now. But so I don't know. I think everybody, just like YouTube, they stall out too, and they got to adjust their carburetor. I guess. Hey, there's a lot of things important today, my Lord Jesus Christ. Oh, Lord, thank you. So when I stall out, He's always there to look over me. That's the truth, man. That's the truth. And my wife, I love her, and I better say that. Yeah, I mean it. My children, I love them. They know I do. And my friends and family, well, it said the family, but anyway, you folks too, out there in YouTube land, Rumble land, Facebook. I've been hearing people say they see me on Facebook more than YouTube. I don't know what's up with that, but anyway, and X, and I don't know. I've been having a problem with that other one. What is it? That other, I can't think of the name of it. I can't, for some reason, I can't get my videos to port over there. It's Instagram. I don't know why I'm having a problem there with Instagram. So hang in there with me, Instagram, and all the rest of y'all. You know what? It's really important to take care of yourself, and you know what? God bless you.